Alright guys, we're going to work on this piece of root beer while I got a little time. So, I think the length is in here. I'm not sure, I haven't even hit this yet, about the quality or anything. So, I'm going to try to clip this corner off and see if ooh, that looks pretty. Let's see if that can help me. Help me turn back here. Sorry, I'll speak up, make sure that the volume is good. It's got a lot of cortex on it too, so I really didn't want to hit it that high or that hard, honestly. But I think it's alright. There might be an arrowhead in there. That's really pretty. Really pretty. If this one works out, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be real nice. Let's see if we can follow this here. It's not much. I'm not gonna hit it real hard because oh hey, it worked out pretty well actually. It's getting not as nice the further in I get out of that cortex there, so. I think maybe I can take a few more off that edge there. This one's a little bit chunky, so we'll just have to work through it, try to get it flattened out. Good thing is I've got it's steep, but I have an angle here, so to kind of work with. Wasn't trying to do that, but it's not all bad. We'll see if we can come over here for this one. See if we can get it to. It's not what I had in mind. Hoping to get a bit more stout shot in there, but I'm actually kind of glad I didn't because it dove in right there. So alright, I think I'm going to try to clip this corner if I can. Man, it's so pretty. But hopefully that kind of sets me up to come back on this stuff, hopefully. This would be nice to run a good long distance on this, so we'll see. pretty much exactly what we wanted. I mean, they won't make big ones, but I can probably get trying to run under that little bit of step fracture area there that I created. Okay, two biggest things is we need to deal with these edges. These really thick edges on here. Hopefully I'm talking loud enough. My phone's not usually so far away, and I don't have a mic. I think to deal with this platform's probably wise currently. It just ran right into that same step fracture, honestly, so maybe it's not too wise. Yeah, it's getting ugly. Okay, what are we gonna do here? I don't even really like doing all that. Maybe I can run, I don't know, into that area. Maybe I should take it from the side over here because it's got this natural step in the stone. So maybe if I kind of run it more to the side, maybe it'll. Yeah. Let's see if this will really give me a run here. That'd be nice to just scoop off a big chunk of all that. I think that'll help a lot. Sounded like it. Beautiful. Try to get this dude flattened out here. Maybe I can run off this, maybe. Yeah, that was pretty decent. Whatever I can do to start turning this corner here. I need to try to clean this up. I'm afraid what's happening is I'm actually running out of angle. So it's kind of an issue currently. It's not rough enough to. Let's see here. What I really need is something here. It's already low. Maybe I can just clip the corner some or something. That helped give me some convexity here. That should. Looks like my length is here now, so as long as I keep it. See if I can maybe come back on this now, maybe. Yeah, that's not as pretty right there. Wonder if I can. There we go. That shot was worrying me a little bit. I was kind of worried about what was going to happen. I'll definitely get a small arrowhead out of that. It's got a lot of thickness to it. It's a little rougher. Like I was saying, hopefully I can work my way back up to this cortex where it's looking really shiny and pretty. Maybe I can focus on taking most everything off there, but I've got to do something here. There's no convexity. As a matter of fact, I've got a big dip right there, so I need to do something. There we go. Alright. And that sets me up really well for taking another off this side with the uglier material, and then now that's kind of got, it doesn't have that big swoop in it, so hopefully that'll, I don't know if I'm needing to go down yet. I don't think just yet. See if I can really travel this ridge here. I'm not very isolated, but I'm gonna have to just try to just risk it. Come on. Yeah. Lost part of it, but I think that's it right there, so that helped. And it's flattening that side out, bringing me closer to what appears to be the better material. I need to finish, so I've got a little bit here and here left of the flat spots. We're thinning down, we're getting closer to biface. Here's another good opportunity to remove a chunk of this over here that's, I think I need to prepare it. It was, basically it had a little dip right in there, and it's not usually good to shoot into a big dip. I think I'm going to take just a small flake off this side. Helps with that cortex. Okay. A little bit more right here. Okay. Not sure what to do right here on this. Cortexy area that really didn't do what I wanted. Alright, well, let's see if we can start to send in some big dog thinning flakes here. That was pretty good. Still got this flat over here in this one. See if that helped me with the thickness back, the flat spot back here, and then it just helped isolate this big chunk right here, I think. Felt like I had a flake in there. Alright, let's see if we can deal with that now. It's a big old bulge there, so let's see if we can. Just try to hit it straight on one more time. See if we can kind of deal with this remaining. Not too bad. Now maybe I can run one across the face here, but do I want to continue to... I have to do something here. So okay. I'm going to try to run back over this with a pretty significant blow. Ooh, I did a dummy right there. I probably on that first strike did that. Alright, let's see if I can begin to try to redeem this thing, maybe. That's not a good angle, let's see. Man. There we go. See if I can do it again. Maybe one more. Well, I just keep getting really small flakes. It's not trying to give it to me. I'm trying to turn it so that we can come back here. But it's pretty much refusing that offer. However, we do have ways of dealing with that. So my phone died and I didn't realize it. So unfortunately we're going to lose a little bit of that video. Well, I mean, there's just a little bit of that video that just doesn't exist. This is where we're at now. I've worked it down and thinned it out. I watched the video. I've thinned it out quite a bit more since it cut on us. So we're going to... Okay. Pick back up on this now. And I think we're actually at this stage with this. It's like my 3/16 or 1/4 inch copper nail. It dove a little bit, but that's okay. We've got time to come back from it. Okay. See if we can undercut this cortex here. Did really well. That shot far across the piece there and did in fact remove a good chunk of cortex. Thin that out really well actually. I'm going to come back on this side here. It's got a ridge there. Oh nice. I was wondering, I seen that little piece fly off there and yeah, that did really good. I thinned it down really well, revealing a little more concrete there. That's okay. Looks like we're just going to have to clean this up. Just go for it. Oh, what happened there? Where was that? Here? Yeah. Okay, so the other one must have went there. Cool. That went significantly better than I thought it would. Okay. See if we can come. Well, I don't know. Let's just trim it actually. Instead of shooting a big flake in here, let's just kind of. Do some short little cleaning up flakes, flip it over, do the same thing. Sometimes it's better to not take a long flake or to try for a long flake until you work it back and forth until one side builds a good convexity. I think I can kind of come into there with this, but if we abrade it away from it, it'll move it closer and give it a better platform to strike too. So. Nice. Went over halfway. All right, let's. I have snapped like 3 or 4 blades now because I wait too long to work on this base, and then I strike it from the base, and then it snaps in half. So let's just take the time right now. Wow, there's still plenty of thickness in this piece. So not worry about that. I only like to take short flakes from the base if I can help it, because if I groove out a big long flake in here, it kind of messes up my flakes coming from the other direction, I've noticed. So I don't want to. That was good. Just kind of want to thin down this a little bit and then maybe approach it from another direction, from a side direction rather. Yeah, we'll lose a little bit on the length, but that's inevitable and it's okay. All right, I do want to try to come in to here, maybe somewhere off this ridge, and make that kind of go away. It's above center line, but I think it'll be okay. That's beautiful. It went in there pretty far, but it's a really thin, shallow flake, and I don't think I'll have too much issue dealing with it. So I'm going to do one more. Yeah, it was real thin. Just helps thin that out further now. Now I just need to start really focusing and attacking it from the sides for the remaining of my thinning. Alright, let's see here. Giving me some opportunity here to thin the base a little more. Kind of start tapering into the piece instead of just going in the middle and coming at it full assault. I find out usually when I do that, I end up with a bunch of big problems anyhow. I just snap it in half a completely different way. Alright, so that's really helped thin that portion of the base. We need to finish dealing with this last deal here. Let's see, I'm going to braid against it. Let's see. And then flip it around. I don't know. I'm just going to turn up the angle a lot, and see if it'll. Yeah, look at that. Good deal. That's weird material in there. I still need to go that way quite a bit. I'm just going to do some bunch of cleanup flakes from this direction. It's already kind of dipped in over here and thin anyhow, so I don't really want to run any big flakes off in that direction at all. Except maybe that way. Let's clean up a little more. What I'm doing is kind of shrinking it in and preparing some platforms. Alright, I'm going to braid against that and then come back. Alright. Same thing here. Okay. Do one more thinning flake right. I don't know, man. Let's see. We really need to turn. Let's just turn for now. Let's just turn. That side's already pretty thin there. I think I'm going to try to run this ridge here first. But I should probably do some they're kind of relief flakes that are going to make it a little easier to isolate. You know, it's like isolating it essentially, so that hopefully it'll. Yeah, it did all right. All right, let's do the same thing. Some shorter isolation flakes here. I will go on this one. There's nothing big. Maybe that'll help isolate this platform here. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to run that ridge. Yeah, there we go. Good deal. That shot 3/4 way over and it really helped thin it out. Now I need to kind of do the same side from this way. Well, this stuff is really good at shooting in some good thin flakes. That only went halfway. All right, let's isolate. And let's really drive one off here. It went just a little over halfway, and that's okay. It's not getting quite as thin as I would like it to be. But that's okay, we're still... It shot 3/4 of the way and thinned it pretty well. And we can do some narrowing. We still got some width to work with here, so we're not just without yet. Alright, let's start tapering it back from this way. Okay, that one did really well. I was kind of a little concerned about it, but I just kind of went for it. Kind of left us another good ridge here that I'm going to smack pretty good. There we go. There we go. We're over halfway. Nice thinning flake there. Even right on that concrete, that was nice. Didn't seem to hinder too much. Alright. Be nice if a couple of these go pretty far. And we need to come in from this way and run this ridge if we can. It's got a little step fracture happening in there. I don't think I'm too worried about it. I'm going to try to work this side out a little bit. And that isolated it and made the flake more perpendicular to the piece, which should actually help us isolate it a little bit more. Which should actually help it not goof me up. It should just keep running ridges, you know, perpendicular to the piece, which is really what you want. Yeah, that shot 3/4 of the way across. Nice thinning flake right there. If we can keep that up, we may achieve a decent thinness on this. Okay, the base isn't horrible. Alright, let's start working the tip a little bit now. Nice. It shot at an angle though, but you know, hey, it's alright. Just keep working it until we get the desired result that we want. I don't really want to lose a whole lot of this tip, but we may have to do just that. Okay. Just about got it out of there. That got a little rough. Okay, there's the cortex gone. Everything's gone except for this funky spot of cortex and that funky spot of concrete. So now we just need to start dealing with the inconsistencies. See if I can start getting out those. That helped. Okay. That wasn't good. Alright, let's see if we can really do something here. That hurt. Let's try another one. I'm hitting those really hard. There we go. Really, really hard. So hard it actually hurts your hand. But it undercut all that nasty stuff and it got us over there, thinned it out. That's what we needed. We need at least one more really good one right here. That's really helped out. Okay. That dug in, that wasn't good. See if we can get another really good one or two here. We're getting pretty much down there in thinness. We're really getting there. This not gonna be as hard. Another isolation flake. Alright, I think I'm going to try to send this one across. It's got a really big ridge line here. This isn't quite hitting it direct on, but we're gonna try. Beautiful. Look at it. Look at that. That's thin. Still with enough, I think we can keep convexity, and I mean that's a big flake scar, but I think we can still continue on. Let's do a little isolation. Alright, let's drop the flake. Okay. One more flake. I mean, it just keeps producing the next ridge, so let's keep taking it. It's got one more lump there and one across the base there. Let's see, let's clean up here. Trying to figure out how we're going to get around to that. That took a chunk of it right there. And I wasn't even trying, I was just kind of cleaning up to get there. That one diagonally thing here, please don't break, bro. Beautiful. Another one right here. Please don't break again, dude. It's stepped a little bit, but that's okay. Let's see here. Let's trim it up. Alright, here's one of my pretty much last thick sections, and it really needs to move somewhere. It needs to go. I think I'll do some cleanup flakes and see if I can run back, kind of set up a better ridge. Think it worked. Alright. It's got a little bit of a step fracture right on the end there, but I think I'm going to try to just go for it here. I couldn't ask that to go any better, honestly. Do a few more, and then I think we're going to trim up and kind of pick a last kind of direction for this guy. Maybe move into some pressure stage. And it's still got some thickness, but it's do need to work this a little bit. So just for symmetry, it's sticking way out there. Grind down on it and see what we got here. Okay, let's take a little here. I don't know. That didn't do good. It left me a thick spot that I may not be able to get to there. Alright, well, I gotta lose some of it anyway, so let's try this. Try to get closer to it. Because we've gotta. Okay, we're gonna have to hit on this concrete, but let's see. Man, this could be a... I'm gonna put my fingers on both sides of it, kind of like you would for a notched pad, to help support it with this. It's gonna be a heck of a blow right in the middle of the point. It's usually, I always break the daggum thing right here, so I'm gonna really try to go out of my way to support this really well. It looks like it's already it looks like a deattached flake anyhow, so I kind of want to, maybe not, maybe that helped a little. I mean, I can tell there's some unattached flake there, but all right, we're gonna do it. That did pretty good, really. It did pretty good. Honestly, I still got a little bit of a cone back here, but it's not just unbearable, and that kind of brought us in. Really close to where we need to be, so. And we're kind of getting rid of some of that concrete, which is going to make it easier. Going to make it easier. Oh, I think it's okay, but that shattered out a bit of that concrete. Okay. I don't think I'm quite ready just yet for pressure, just with this being such a hard material. But I do think I'm ready for something a little more pointed and controlled, so we're going to flip it around. and C here. Got a little bit to work on both sides here. Kind of slowing down, winding down, paying attention, what's doing what, what's needing to go where, what's this side of the point, what's that side. This is a time to really pay attention. A big deep flake here can pretty much ruin the piece, so for me, this is time to really zero in and see what's happening. Kind of whittling away, thinning the edges, getting the piece center on the edges. This thing, I can tell right now, this here is about to be a troublemaker. I'm not just saying that. I better go slow and easy with it. Because it's got some cracks and stuff inside of that concrete that is acting less than like it wants to do something not so nice. Alright, let's do a little bit more here on the base. I hit one like that yesterday. Snap it in half. But it was more brittle than this, so and I was using a wider tip than this. That dug in a little bit, but not too bad. Oh, that was really pretty. Let's try it again. There we go. That went at least halfway. That undercut all that ugly that I just made. So trying to kind of creep up on this and deal with this around this concrete area. Stiffen that up. Let's not run any major crazy risks right here. It's already risky enough. That wasn't great. Alright, let's just step back a little and see what happens. That helps. Kind of just really, it's at the mercy of this concrete right now. Everything else is great, but it's time to eat our lunch, man. There we go. There we go. Alright, what are we going to do now? We've got to get around it if we stand any chance of really doing anything with this point. Alright, let's see if we can start here. And come in and start undercutting it. Think it might work. Step fractured partially in. I was able to pick it out, but we still need to get under it. Let's just keep on a little at a time. It's working. Slowly but surely. Daggum patch of concrete. Alright, I just hit it right on it. I think I've got it to where we can. We're gonna do this and try to get a more extended flake though. Straighten that up a little bit. Alright, this is gonna take a bigger, bolder flake, so don't break. Come on. Here, let's just do the thing. Let's do the thing we do. Did some fall out? I think I lost half that. There it is. Beautiful. Yes. And it leaves me 2 more ridges and we're almost through it, man. Let's do another one of those right here next to it. Let's just make that a little more pronounced if we can. Do the little finger thing again. Nice. Maybe we can get one more on this last ridge with concrete. Come on. 3 for 3. That did not release. Good enough. Good enough, man. Bro. Alright. Okay. What do we want this to be? I mean, it's not the thinnest thing in the world, but this stuff is it's pretty rough. I'm pretty sure it's raw. Okay. I know sometimes I get in the zone and I don't exactly explain what I'm doing. Some of them are just kind of difficult little spots that just require my attention. I try to remember to just tell you when I get done. But I just had a series of little up and down spots here that I needed to figure out exactly what they needed. Nothing really big left here. Getting pretty even all the way around. Really no more inconsistencies, so however, I'm out of time right now, so that's where we're going to leave this one. We'll get back to this. Alright guys, we're going to pick this back up. This is all going to be one video. I'm trying to do a new thing. I've been doing a lot more knapping lately. That way I'm more fluent and things are moving smoother, so I can kind of do it faster. And unfortunately with my children's schedules and all the different things, it's hard to just sit down and get it all in one go with dying phone batteries and all the different issues of life. But I'm trying to make a better viewer experience, not just so that I can get likes and clicks or whatever, but because I like doing this and that's really the heart of it. And I know that I've struggled in my learning of doing this, and I know that, or I think that a lot of other people as well struggle with the same thing. And so this is kind of a flint knapping for enjoyment, mixed with, flint knapping for education. However, so I'm not just going to say it's a designated how-to channel, or where I just know all this infinite wisdom about native archaeology or anything like that, because I certainly don't. This is just something that I really enjoy doing, and it was inspired by my finding of native artifacts when I began to stumble across my first few really good Native American artifact sites. Because I was in construction, I began to stumble across a whole lot of it when I had my realization of what it was and how abundant it was in my area and all these different things. And when I really kind of first started seeing my first flakes scattered about in the dirt, I remember when it hit me, and I was like, wow, this is the debris from them making stone tools. I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then on that same site, I found then literally my first 4 or 5, it's actually more than that, maybe 8 or 10 artifacts. So I remembered when the whole thing kind of fully came about for me. And as I was really kind of just bringing it to a full picture in my mind, then my mind went to, I wonder how they do this. And I just became infatuated with it, and that's what led to this. It's been a lot of years in the making. I've been flint knapping, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, somewhere in there. And I've been finding artifacts for, 6, I don't know, it didn't take me, it really honestly didn't take me too long to get into it. I'm still finding artifacts here on my property now. Now that I'm not in construction with all that's happened recently and I'm no longer doing construction. But thankfully the Lord blessed me and I now have property that has artifacts on it. So I don't have to rely on my old construction stuff to find artifacts anymore. Unfortunately, it's not super abundant here. But it seems like it's getting better lately. Maybe I'm just learning the landscape better. I found the majority of them kind of deeper down doing gardening stuff. I actually just found my first actual surface arrowhead find here on this property just the other day. I'm going to post that little video later. It's not a great one by any means. I think it's cool, but it's not like some flawless, full, awesome arrowhead or anything like that. But it's super cool. And I stay busy around here, so it's not like I just have time to be out hunting for artifacts all hours of the day or anything. I may not be specifically working anymore, a 9 to 5, but I do a lot of taking care of my sons and taking care of around the house, and then essentially gardening full time currently, doing everything for my garden to provide for my family and other families. And then I'm getting into gardening for a job, working on making that thing. So, but I really like flint knapping. I really, really like it. It is something that I enjoy doing, and also getting to sit around and kind of ponder about what they used to do. I like to do other things too. I'm out making pottery in the yard and just getting into some of that stuff. I've got like an old box of iron ore somewhere in my garage that's been sitting there for years that I've wanted to do something with. So eventually I'm going to do something with that. I have a lot of, that's why my channel is the Outdoorsman channel, because I just love being outside and having fires and cookouts. And we have a little creek on our property, going down to the creek with the boys, and we've got a lot of property out there. It's not a lot. To us, it's a lot. It's like 4 acres that we're trying to master and subdue. But it's definitely wild, untamed property. We're getting there, though. I'm just trying to draw these edges in, just make this more organized. organized, symmetrical. Trying to get its life together through my hands. I haven't been doing much on my gardening channel, or well, I guess, I say my gardening channel. It's all this channel. I do gardening. Been doing gardening videos on here, and my little arrowhead hunting videos, my flint knapping videos, and all my different stuff. But eventually I'll get all my life together, and I'll get more organized and we'll get something a little more, with a little more substance to it. I'm still just trying to figure out life at this junction. It's different for me than life has ever been before, so it's still in the taking it all in phase, really. Figuring out my new place in life, I guess. Still rounder on this side, so I don't know that I want to go just beating this thing up with the indirect anymore currently. So I'm thinking I want to stick with the pressure for now. Seems to be doing pretty good. So I feel like even though this is some pretty tough stuff, if I go to whacking on it with that indirect too much more at all, I'm going to end up deforming it and breaking it, and so it's time to cruise on easy street for a little bit, unless I come across a big hump or something that I can't quite get or reach or do with pressure. So I'm not still fully sure what I'm trying to do, but I want to just get a little bit of this roundness out here. And then maybe just put some notches in it. Looks like I might have one indirect strike back this way. Just taking a whole bunch of little flakes off here. Helping the center line and kind of flattening this back. Really just getting that round bit out of it, really. And it'll bring me closer for this couple of strikes back here. It's kind of built up a pretty decent ridge right down the center where everything was kind of meeting halfway from both sides. So I don't know if it's a good idea to go after that or not, but we'll. And then this side's a little thinner, so it kind of needs to go that way. So it's currently knocking out both the issues that the point has and kind of preparing for the other issue that I see. So. Ouch. That went right through the glove, man. I missed the leather and it bit me. Alright, we're really getting really close on this thing here. And it's actually coming together for possibly a couple indirect strikes here, so I'm just going to take a little bit more small flakes here. Alright, and then abrade it. It's getting really close on the shape of it. Yeah, and it really lowered this side down to take some of those stripes right there, because it's definitely kind of thicker right here than anywhere else. But I'm going to have to be really, really careful, I think, to not take too much. I'm still thinking maybe I need to run it with pressure, but most of all the pressure wasn't coming out to long flakes, and I need long flakes. I think I'm going to hit this one. This is the lowest point right here with indirect with the sharp point. I don't want it to fan out super wide. I would kind of prefer to have longer, narrow flake scars, but thin. I don't want to go super deep with it. So hopefully this platform looks good. It looks sturdy. It looks with a defined ridge with great convexity. So I think what I am going to do, I'm going to support a finger on both sides of it. I've learned I really like that. It's really helping me prevent from breaking it in half. It's not a guarantee, but it seems like when I just do it like this, right in the middle like this, I break it in half a lot. I think it's because there's so much room under here and it just snaps it in half. But when I get a finger under both sides and I get that tip right there on the platform and drive that flake, it just seems to give it everything that it needs to complete the job without breaking it. Of course, it has to have all the other requirements too, the force and the angle and everything too. But that was beautiful. That's exactly the thin, nice flaking that we're going for on this. Like I said, it's not a whole lot. Something's stabbing me. It's not a whole lot of thickness there that I'm trying to just get rid of, but it's just enough. It's just small bits and pieces here. I'd like to maybe get one more there. Let's see, maybe one over here. I don't want to get greedy. This is not the time to get greedy. Just for fine tuning. Fine tuning. That's my issue. I always get greedy, and I want too much, and I want some perfect, super thin, great, wonderful point. think I can do this one like this. I think sometimes it's beneficial. Alright, maybe one more down here. Just while all the things are lined up, the ridge, the platform, all the things are pretty well lined up. Yep, pretty decent. I'd like to run another one there, but it's not set for that at all. At all. Let's see. What are we going to do here? We're going to pick a little right there. And a little right there. Oh, those didn't sound good. Those were step fractures. And take a series of short crunchy step fracture. Don't know how to get to that. Alright, let's flatten this base, I think. I don't know. Maybe we can keep it round. What are we doing? Hey, it's sharp. This will cut you. Alright. I know what we're doing. We're gonna put that stuff away. We're gonna move into sharp steel. And we're going to touch it up a little bit more. And then we're going to notch it. I think we're going to keep it just like it is. When a thing's good, it's good, just leave it alone. Okay. Alright. We're not gonna drop anything on that, huh? I need to reshape this or shorten it a little bit or something. It's ended up being far longer than what's super usable. I mean, I love this shape. It's actually been working out really great for a notcher. Sorry, it's kind of squeaky. That's less squeaky. But however, it's I went a little wild and crazy on this one, and it ended up being really long because I get tired of sharpening it down and then burning up the tool. But I'm gonna have to learn a little bit shorter than this is the optimal. The shape I think is optimized for flaking, but the length. Well, no, I wanted it long so that I can get in there, but then you kind of. This might be better. I don't know. Because it was longer than this and it was bending and not able to perform the necessities of notching. But it's a thin, good shape for getting in and close and notches and working around the base. And all right. Been working good. The shape, the style of tip. I don't know. We're just gonna start. And I think I got too hyper focused on getting those really thin notches, those really, really thin. Gotta be a 1/16 inch notch. Not everything needs to be a one. I mean, it's due to the piece. It's what the piece. And if you're making a specific arrowhead or I say arrowhead, but really just a specific point, atlatl point, knife, whatever, that arrowhead that specifically has a 1/16 inch notch, then that's one thing. But I just get these ideas in my head that I think it just has to be this way or that way. That's not exactly true. And then I push for that specific result, and then I end up breaking everything, and it's all trash. Sometimes there's a great freedom in letting something be what it wants to be, too. Let the stone become what it shall. But, I mean, there's also wisdom in having a game plan or maybe what you want something to look like before you go into it as well. So, I mean, there's multiple ways to go about it. I mean, that's got to be really essentially kind of how this stuff came about in the first place. I mean, it's not like they just picked up some Native American rule book that said these are the specific dimensions and flaking patterns and designs that you shall build projectile points with. I mean, somebody started picking up stone and learning about it and figured out what the stone could become. they perfected it over vast amounts of time and people and skills. And honestly, this notching is easier when it's wider because it gives you the ability, instead of just taking a notch straight in every time, which for me leads to the notch bottoming out rapidly every time. It allows me to take a flake out of the bottom to the left, a flake out of the bottom to the right, and then, I mean, essentially the same thing that we do on the edges. If we want to draw the edge that way to take a flake off this side, then we'll flake this way, and then as you take flakes off that side, it pushes the edge this way and lowers your platforms and allows you to, and changes the angle, allows you to draw flakes off that side. Well, essentially the same thing when you're doing the notches is you'll go in a little ways, you'll pop your notches out, you'll look at the center line inside your notch, and then you'll take a few more short flakes to move the center line the other way and get it lined up, flip it over, drive out another good notch in there. And so maybe I'll be able to kind of show that. I don't know how well with my camera you'll be able to see. But on this one right now, the center line, really it's kind of centered. It's a little more that way, and that's good because that's the side that I need to take my next little notch out of, is on this side. But for that to happen, sometimes you just want to go in here and just try to take out some more little tiny flakes. See, it's not giving me anymore. It's pretty much done all it's going to do. So now it's to get on that little platform in there and just blast a flake down into that side. It's risky. This is very dangerous. I've busted off so many bases and ears and stuff doing this, especially once, a lot of times with your platforms on your side, you want them to be really robust and solid. Well, with this, when they get too robust and solid, that's a lot of times when it wants to do something crazy and go this way or go that way. But that's also where it comes in, like maybe I can pop one that way and then come over here and pop one that way and help kind of spread out the not fully sure what that just ran out of there, but there we go. So that took a good little chunk out right there. That already pushed the center point that way, preparing for the next strike. But we'll go in here. I was able to get another little flake there and kind of essentially try to aid it in. Alright, but you don't want to go too much. I've learned if I go too much and stiffen that platform up too much the other way, then it kind of causes me the crack it in half issue. Alright, so now I should be good for another one the other way. This one, I'll probably just take right down the middle. Well, and it helps to stop and look too. Like, do you have a ridge? Do you have convexity? What do you got going on? I've got this, even if I was able to waylay a really good long thin flake in there, I've got this step fracture. I mean, it's only going to go so far. Doubt I'm going to be able to peel that deed out, but we'll see. This one looks like it's probably going to best suit me to just run it right down the middle, so. Sounded good. Popped out a short, shallow deal there. And it still seems to be more on that side, so it makes me wonder if I shouldn't continue to work that side. So just come back in here. Do a little bit. take another flake in there maybe. I think I goofed up. Now I'm very centered of everything here. Let's see. I think I can come over here. Well, that's what I was saying. Widening the notching can help with that. If you kind of find yourself getting stuck, and watching inside your tail here and on your ear, keeping those center and keeping the extra flakes. Right now I can drive a flake that way, and it'll help even up that edge of that base, but then that also helps me to I'm in dangerous territory right here, pushing so hard. That's how it always works. When I get to pushing hard, that's when something breaks. Let's try to take a couple flakes out over here on this ear. Alright. I think I need to get one kind of straight in on this. Yeah, be careful though. See that crunching and grinding over there on the side of that. Yeah, I've kind of got myself in a jam here. But I see where I need a flake to run across, partially across this base. Well, all right. Sharpen that bad boy up again. See if that'll help us to get in on there on anything. It doesn't seem to be it. But we're going to come over here. We'll come back to it. Look at it here in a minute. Maybe I'll have something more. Different perspective, different way to look at it. We'll see. Already trying to bottom out in that one. It can be tough. It can be really, really tough, especially if you're trying to go into a super thick area. Part of that is that I probably didn't really drive a big enough flake right there in the beginning. Alright, let's see if I can thin the I really don't like how much pressure I'm using in there. But it's so solid now. They're completely centered inside there with really nowhere to go without honestly just super widening these out. Which may just be what I have to do. Alright, let's see. See if I can sneak in there with... This is dangerous too because just the width of this can sometimes bust out that ear. But, I mean, I'm pretty much stalled. I mean, it's not horrible. I'd like them to be deeper. But here's, kind of like that thing I was talking about where I get something in my head. And decide that I gotta go for it. And really, it's just this side, so maybe I'm to at least get them evened up. I mean, I guess I can live with them being shallower notches if I get them evened up. And I just made a little headway on that side, so maybe I can... Where was it? was it? It was over here. There we go. This stuff's just really, really tough. And you can see it just bent the ever-living fire out of that. But it did get the flake and it didn't take out the ear. Yeah, I can tell this stuff's definitely tougher because it's amazing how they can look completely different depths from both sides. This side they're pretty even. This side one looks longer than the other. That'll help. That will help. So I was able to run a flake off that side of the base right there, and maybe that'll be enough for me to release one over here. Maybe not. Hey, there we go. Come on. Alright, let's... There we go. Then I got one up there that time. So now we're moving at least. Probably it's bit off more than I can chew now because I'll have to do something on the other side now. Ooh, thank the Lord they didn't break that. Alright, we're moving. Oop. I don't know if I tighten that or whatever. Well, might be nearly all I can do. Let's see. There's a nice flake out there in the base, which will help me to that side kind of got rounded. Whoa. Throw my blade right on that. Okay. There we go. I think that's it. I think I've picked at it long enough. We at least have deep enough notches that it doesn't look ridiculous. I think it's nice. Still a little thicker in the base here. Tapers down pretty well to the tip. It's a solid blade, I can tell you that. I wouldn't want to get hit with it flying out of an atlatl, that's for sure. I'm not going to mess around too long. I've kept it all held up for long enough. Alright, well, there is another Texas rootbeer chert arrowhead. Spear point. Atlatl dart, rather. It's not, that real deep, pretty stuff. That's my favorite. The deeper, pretty stuff, necessarily. It's got some rough, concrete-y stuff. You can see the concrete all the way through it there. But we were able to get it to make a solid, solid 3-inch point. Probably 3 1/4, 3 1/2, honestly, so. It's at least 3. Alright, guys.